She won the half-pipe event at the Vision Pro in the snow in Squaw Valley. She won the half-pipe event at the OP Pro at Copper Mountain.
Tina was one of the originals and one of the pioneers during a time where it wasn't mainstream and it wasn't something that was widely accepted.
She won the US Open half-pipe competition last week in the track mountain. She even won the slalom at the Vision Pro in the snow. But right now she's got the world championship on her mind.
In the late 80s and early 90s, there was no roadmap for professional snowboarding, and Tina was one of the ones to help figure out where we were going to take it.
Tinabasich, who's also a damn good snowboarder.
My name's Tinabasich, and I started snowboarding in the winter of 1985 to 86.
Smile, Tina, wave! Yeah, tweak it!
When I started snowboarding up in Lake Tahoe area, there was a handful of resorts that allowed snowboarding. One of them was Donner Ski Ranch, and that's where we kind of gravitated to. Back in the mid-'80s, the gear was pretty rough, and you always see footage from back then where we're just like kind of surf styling, and that's really because we were just trying to hold on to our balance and get down the hill. I had fins on my board, I had seatbelt buckles for the bindings, I was wearing jeans. It just was kind of the beginning for us.
Next up, Tinabasich, and Tina is from Fair Oaks, California, 21 years of age.
Tina's a veteran competitor from Northern California, spent a lot of time in the Tahoe area riding with the boys.
As I got more involved in the snowboarding scene up in Tahoe, there had been a few contests, and then we heard that there was going to be a world championship competition out in Breckenridge, Colorado. And so luckily my parents allowed me to go, and I got a ride out there with some other locals from Tahoe, and that was kind of the first vision where I realized that snowboarding was bigger than our little scene at Donner Ski Ranch.
She is going off huge for the women's competition.
Wall to wall, spins it around to fakie, and she's looking really good. Tinabasich is perhaps the best one we've seen so far in the women's final.
When snowboarding exploded in the 90s, Tina was an absolute superstar, known for breaking down boundaries.
I don't know if people realize how much we had to push through being a woman in a sport that was mostly dominated by men. Back in those early years, like the women in the sport, we came together because we were stronger together. We really had to push through some barriers to even be seen.
If I hadn't seen those girls like Tina on TV at those events or in the videos, I don't know if I would have gone on the path that I have gone on. She helped carve out a place for women in snowboarding.
At one of the first X Games, they offered a big air and they invited 20 women to come be a part of it. And we were so scared when we showed up and saw the jump. It was huge and we were terrified. And we recognized at that moment that we did have to show up and drop in and push ourselves and push our ability to be able to do it, because we knew that they would not allow us and invite us back the next year if we didn't. And so 4 of us did show up, and that's where I gained my X Games gold in '99 from doing that big air competition.
I just think we're really lucky to have someone like Tina a part of the history of snowboarding.
One of the best places to show this world what women are capable of doing is in the mountains on a snowboard, riding like the wind. I grew up with a paintbrush in my hand, so I was inspired by my mother, who was an artist, and I did art my whole life. I've always been really proud to have my artwork on my pro models. Through my snowboarding career, I always had my creativity and my watercolor paintings, my hand-drawn paintings on my pro models through my whole career. My current artwork is inspired by my daughter. She was diagnosed with scoliosis in 2017. And once I saw her MRI of her curved spine up on the X-ray machine, I just knew that I had to incorporate those images somehow. So my artwork now is a mixed media artwork, and I layer paper and drawings and old clip art and sheet music, and I create these images. And what comes through my artwork are these fierce warrior girls and goddesses that have power. And I realize that the artwork is part of my process, but it also reflects her and her bravery to get through this. I feel like I have to be strong and lift her up, and somehow in return she's the one that is actually the strongest and lifts me up.
We're really excited about this project. Not only is it an opportunity to shine a spotlight on Tina's legacy as a snowboarding pioneer, but she's also a lifelong artist, and she had pro models for 20 years with graphics that she did herself. So now to have this art project, the Warrior Project, that means so much to her and her family's journey with scoliosis, to be able to take that art and put it back on a guest pro model is a really cool thing.
Searching for the way, searching for